first team.
Hello everyone, we are Mouse. Yeah, and I am Joy, and she is Andy, Nadia, Ellen, and James. So today we are going to share our survey of addiction of electronic devices. And this is our outline. And at first, we will introduce our interviewees, and second, we will share our interview data, and last, we will summarize our survey. And this is our interviewees from Guatemala, Hong Kong, Macau, Honduras, Vietnam, and South Korea, and we still have else interviewees from America and Malaysia, but they are not willing to share their pictures on our PPT, so we can only show these interviewees to you.
Hi, I'm Andy, and according to this pie chart, over 5 hours, approximately 40% spend over 5 hours a day on their electronic devices, and approximately 30% spend 1 to 3 hours or 3 to 5 hours a day. And we can find that electronic devices is indispensable and necessary nowadays in modern people's lives. And this chart indicates that which kind of electronic devices they use most frequently. And according to our pie chart, we can find that approximately 80% thinks they use cell phone most frequently, and almost 20% they use computer most frequently. And according to our survey, let's say because cell phone is more portable and convenient to bring with. As we know, cell phone can put in our pocket and we can use it anywhere at any time. And then this chart indicates that which application they use most frequently. We can find that the social media are function they use most frequently, and then is YouTube. And we can compare with this pie chart and this bar chart. This bar chart is about which function they think is the most important. And compare with these two charts, we can find that they think the social media they think is most important and they use most frequently. So this result is done. And then that's to this bar chart. The rest people think getting information is most important function. As a student, we can know that absorbing knowledge is very important. And this getting information is not just information, it's about news and picture and education. So we can get this result is normal.
Okay, and this is the fixed question. When did you have the first electronic device? And according to our interviewee's answer, there are almost 1/3 of them said that have the first electronic devices at age 0 to 12, and there are 2/3 of them that they have their first electronic devices at age 13 to 15. And I think the reason why they have their first electronic device at their age is because the technology, when they are young, the technology hadn't developed so flourishly, so they have the fewer opportunities to buy an electronic device. But when they grow up, they can buy it at a lower price. The sixth question is, if one day you find that you can't use the internet anymore, how will you feel? And all of our interviewees said that they will feel boring or feel sad, this kind of negative answer. And what will you do? What will they do instead? They will do some outside activities like that, or some inside static activities like watch TV or sleep. And I think that when they are too young to have the electronic device, when they are too young to have the electronic device, they just do these things to kill their time. But after they have their cell phone or a computer, they just and one day they lose it. They will just do these things instead, but they are in a negative mood. The seventh question is, do you think electronic devices are beneficial or not? All of our interviewees said it is beneficial because they can contact with their family and their friends, or if they have some problems on studying, they can ask for questions immediately. But there are about 28% of them said it is not beneficial as well, because the electronic devices will emit the blue ray and it really hurts our eyes. The eighth question is, which tool do you usually use when you take notes in class? Electronic devices or notebooks? And the users of electronic devices and notebooks are about the same. And the supporters of the electronic devices said it's more lighter and more convenient to have the electronic devices on hand, because when they have more than one class a day, they can just bring an iPad on hand instead of bringing a lot of maybe 3 to 4 notebooks in their bags. But the users of the notebooks said they are more accustomed to the notebooks, because when they are an elementary school students, they just start to use the notebooks. And as for me, I am the supporters of using a notebook, because buying a notebook is far cheaper than buying an iPad.
Hi, I'm Jen. And the question is, are you in favor of using electronic devices in a class? In the pie chart, you can see that nearly 90% of the interviewees say yes.
They say they don't just have a net for fun or using social media. They also check the news and search for information, and you will have them study.
And the question is, do you think that checking the electronic devices before going to bed influences your sleep? And over 60% of the interviewees say no, because
Some of them say if they don't check the cell phone before going to bed, they even feel anxiety or lazy to fall asleep. But some of them say they don't like to check the cell phone before sleeping because it really influences their sleep.
The next question is, do you usually use your electronic devices during the commute?
70% of them say yes, because I think that taking transportation is boring for most of people. So if they are time conscious, they will manage their time more efficiently. So
They can check the news, search for information, or listening to music, or watch TV, watch the videos during the commute.
And the next question is, do you always bring your phone with you whenever you go out? You can see almost everyone bring their phone when they go out. As for me, I cannot go out without my cell phone. So I think this is because cell phone is a necessity in our daily life nowadays.
And next question is, do you decrease the time you personally accompany with your friends due to the convenience of using electronic devices to communicate? And we can see our answer is almost half and half. And the interview is whose answer is yes is say because they can contact their friends or they can chat with them with electronic devices. And one of our interviewees, her answer is no, and she say her answer is no because she don't use her cell phone or electronic devices when there are person next to her. So it is super cool. And the next question is, do you think that electronic devices isolate you from the society? Why or why not? And our PPT got wrong answer, I'm sorry. So the no is 11.1%, and it should be on the left side. And yes, the answer yes should be the right side. Yeah. And no's answer, they say if we always use cell phone during conversations, it isn't such a good idea. And if it is a no manners action and it makes people don't want to talk with you. And the yes answer is because they got more content with their friends and they can know what happens outside. So they don't think electronic devices isolate from society. And yeah. So next question is, if you were a parent, at what age would you let your kids use electronic devices? And we can see most our interviewees say they would let our kids have or use electronic devices at age 13 to 15 because at this age, children hang out with friends or go home lately. So they think they can contact with their kids conveniently, and they would know more clearly about what they are doing and if electronic devices useful or harmful to their study or some performances. So last question is, do you think you are addicted to electronic devices? And we can see 14 of our interviewees say yes. And the next question is, if your answer is yes, do you think electronic devices influence your study performance? And 10 of our interviewees who say yes. And 4 of them say no, so we can know that although electronic devices is convenient and useful to our study information or something, but it would influence our study performance, like if you play games a lot or you stay addicted on social media networking or something. Yeah. So in conclusion, people depend on electronic devices, especially cell phone, and they tend to use social media to know what happened in the world and to communicate with others. Also, some think that using electronic devices would influence their sleeping quality. But it is a fact that people can't live without them. And so In our opinion, electronic devices are beneficial to our lives with their convenient functions, but we still have to limit our time spent on them, or we will lose ourselves in such a virtual world. Thank you.
Yeah, so maybe you want to stay on the stage. Okay, so now feel free to ask questions or make comments. Can we start with the second team? Any questions or comments?
No, very good.
So what do you think is very good?
Especially I think she has the fluency and the control of the whole situation and know the content very well. And she's a little bit nervous, but overall it's very good because she also knows the content and have the eye contact with the viewers. Yeah. So I think overall it's quite excellent.
Good. Thank you for the comments. That's good. Okay, so do you have other questions or comments? How about the third team? Yes?
I think your group's tempo is really good because nobody really stops for a long time or something, or make the situation really awkward. And so I think every team members are really doing their job. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think I do agree with that. Thank you. Again, Candice.
And also you made a comparison between the pie chart and the bar chart. And I think that is pretty special.
Good. About our final team, questions or comments?
I think the slide, the PowerPoint is easy to understand with the pie chart, and also I like the team where you guys explain your answers with the interviewees, and I think that makes the whole presentation very clear. So overall, I like this presentation. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Yeah, I think I do agree with that. Okay. So any others? Questions or comments? I'm just curious. So during the interviews, did the foreign students mention to you what they think about the internet use of the Taiwanese? So do they think that maybe people in Taiwan are maybe more addicted to the internet? Do they have such impression?
I don't think so because like the man from Honduras, he said he has a cell phone and begin to use the internet from since he is 6 years old. So and the Taiwanese people said they always have their cell phone and use it since they are 12 years old. So I think it depends.
Good. So any other questions? Okay, so then thank you very much.